This episode of the Conscious Salon podcast is brought to you by Revlon Professional Australia.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Conscious Salon Potty.
Good to be here.
Today, we're going to address the elephant in the room, and that is that so many salon owners are not trusting their gut and have really poor self-trust. So I want to talk first of all about what this looks like in reality. Often we can see this play out by the salon owner who will be too scared to make a decision. It can be a salon owner who asks everyone else's opinion before they make a decision about something. So they might jump in and ask questions in a Facebook group. They might ask other industry friends. They'll really sit in ideation for a long time. So they'll have an idea and they'll be like, oh, I think that's a good idea, but I'll just think about it. And what happens is that they talk themselves out of it, or the ideation phase lasts too long and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. This can often play out as well with people having intuitively great ideas and then just doing nothing with them and letting them sit there because they're too afraid to make the moves. It can also play out not listening to your gut with team and not having hard, courageous conversations with team members to move them on when they don't align. And sometimes we'll have salon owners that come to us and they'll say, I know that this team member is wrong for me and this team member is not aligned to my business. This team member is problematic. This team member is affecting our culture. This team member is causing me more stress than help. But they're so afraid to trust themselves in that decision and actually move on that and listen to their gut. And we're seeing like an epidemic at the moment with salon owners not trusting their gut instincts and not listening to their intuition. So we're going to talk about it.
Right. I think this is something that plays out a lot in our industry, and it's something that we talk about a lot with. Our industry is like a people-pleasing industry by nature. We're in the line of service. We really want to give every opportunity and really I feel like overlook a lot of things that we potentially see. And it's something we talk about really openly when we're working with clients, and actually in general, this is a big conversation that we have frequently. And it's almost like I like to reference it back to, when you're younger and you've got your problematic boyfriend, or a few of them, or all of them, if you're me.
Fuck boy, I think we call them now, Tess.
Or all of my ex-boyfriends. But what this will do, every single time that I'd enter that dynamic, I would be like, I'm the one that's going to change him. I'm going to be the one that is going to get X, Y, and Z. I'm going to be, that person for him he's going to stop being the toxic prick that he has been, and he's going to start being a decent human. And what?
How's that playing out?
I don't have high hopes. I don't think that I could have been the toxic one, actually. When I look back, it probably was me. But why we bring this reference back, it's that people can relate to that. We've all had that moment of being like, I'm going to change him, or I'm going to change her, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to be the medicine. I'm going to be the therapy.
Oh, I'm going to be the medicine that landed.
And what can happen with this is we often do this. This is not something that happens just in our love relationships. The fact that I've said love relationships really speaks volumes as to like how I've shown up prior to my current relationship. Wow. Romantic. That's what it is. Yeah. Was a massive commitment phobe, as we might have clocked. But with that in mind, one of the biggest conversations that we can have is that salon owners currently really struggle to trust their gut, or they will keep trying to force a square peg round hole situation. They will keep hoping that the next training session will be the one where it clicks. The next, time that she's late, I'll bring her up on it then. The next X, Y, and Z. It's always next.
The late thing happens so often.
Yeah.
So many salon owners say to us, like, oh, this team member's consistently late 10 minutes every day.
How's that conversation? What conversation? And I think this is a thing that we see play out so often, is that when that team member eventually steps out, or, things separate, we will ask the salon owner to look back and see where you can identify the red flags, the potential things that you might have skipped over. because there will always be a moment where they were like, you know, I knew then, but I didn't trust my gut or I didn't listen, and I wanted to give the opportunity, and I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and I wanted to be the medicine, the therapy, the reason that they got better. And I get it. I wanted to be the hero too. I've wanted to be the hero. I wanted to be the reason that people had that pivotal change. I've wanted to have that moment as well. But what I actually realized when I started pulling this back, it wasn't about being a hero X, Y, and Z. It was the fact that I didn't want to acknowledge what my body was telling me of, this person's not right. This situation isn't good. This is not respectful behavior. XXX, whatever the thing was that I kept ignoring. Your body does communicate with you. It lets you know. Because that's where, when you have that permission to actually review it, you'll be like, I knew then. But you wouldn't say that until you get to that point of like having the out. That's when you can go, yeah, I knew then. I knew in the interview when they said X, that was a bit of a red flag for me. I knew when this behavior happened, that was a red flag for me. And it's not about every time your body is communicating with you that you act, because people can often think that when we start listening to our body and like communicating with us and letting us know, that means that we have to be like, oh, stop, you know, like my body's communicating, like get out. That's not going to help either. It's just the fact that we're going to start acknowledging, we're going to start noticing, and we're just going to create little markers for it. Of cool, I'm noticing that when so-and-so is late, I'm really struggling to have that conversation. I'm ignoring my gut of saying, I need to address this so that this can stop now. I'm just hoping it'll get better on its own. And when we start really listening to our body communicating, because it will always have a way of letting you know, and sometimes it can be that gut feeling. Some people can get, for me, I know when I'm in a stressful situation, usually because my heart will start beating really fast. I may not be able to clock it. I won't be sitting there gasping for air. I won't even be having a super abnormal feeling. But suddenly I'll just feel my heart starting to beat a little quicker. And it will just let me know, oh, hang on, something here is making me feel a little bit not safe or a little bit anxious or a little bit nervous. And then I can start honoring that. That doesn't mean that I stop a meeting and go, guys, I'm anxious. Like, can we all look at my heart? Like, that's not going to help with that. But it's just having that moment of like, cool, what's coming up? What am I feeling in this? What's actually coming? What feelings are coming as I can, like, what truly is going on for me? Because I feel like for so many people, we just shut that off and we push through because we think, I've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. I've got to keep going. It's not enough for me to like pull back or to stop or to change direction. And I feel like that's one of the biggest conversations that we're having at the moment is that people are getting that indication of a gut feeling.
And they're not following it.
And they don't follow it.
Yeah.
They're not even curious about it.
Yeah.
They just literally will be like, no.
Yeah.
No.
That people pleaser that lives in all of us.
Yeah.
Tess, I want you to be really vulnerable here. When have you, like, tell me a situation in our business, in our salon, where you have ignored your gut instinct on something and when your gut was like talking to you really clearly about something?
I will give you better than that. I would honestly say that I've only started listening to my gut in the last 3 years. I would be really open with that. I've spoken really openly about being a reactive leader. There's also been so many things. I remember one instance, and I know this is like the biggest one that stands out for me. I remember during COVID times, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. You just smiled and I know what it is. During COVID times, one of our team members, I think, claimed that she had COVID or she had a test or something like that. There was a reason why she couldn't work, and she doctored a photo with the timing on it to send to me about when she'd had a test or a negative test.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but she changed the time. She'd spaced it 3-hour gap.
Yeah.
So one was 3 hours earlier, the other one was 3 hours later.
Yeah.
She sent me through both of them,
Dickhead.
which I was like, hey. But I actually remember in that.
We like clocked that it couldn't have been real. There was no chance it was real.
Because she'd sent me the edited and the unedited version. So it was like, hey. But I do remember in that moment, that's one of the first times I started honouring my gut.
Yeah.
Because originally I was like, full transparency, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to.
And she gave an explanation. She said,
oh my God, it was
it's because
absurd. I'll actually save her the embarrassment of the story, but it was something about my
iPhone time
member.
is set to Perth time. That's why the time's different in the second text.
But I was like, but you're not from Perth, so that doesn't make this not Megan. If anyone's like looking at Megan, it's not Megan.
Imagine.
Yeah. It wasn't her, but she had a friend that was over. Oh my God, the story was absurd.
Ridiculous.
But I remember when that happened, you were like,
you sent it through to me and I said, sorry to let you know this, mate, but this is fraudulent.
Edited.
This is not authentic.
Yeah.
And you were like, nah, it definitely is. And I was like, no, it's not.
And then I remember being like, I can't keep ignoring this. I can't keep ignoring that gut feeling because I didn't want to deal. The reality with it wasn't about having a hard conversation. I didn't want to address that this person was doing the wrong thing, was like not respecting us, was taking the piss.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. That was really confronting because I always wanted to be cool boss.
You did ignore it, didn't you?
No, we had a conversation. A very challenging conversation.
I don't remember. You have to fill me in the car. But okay, interesting. But you wanted to ignore your gut. And we ignored our gut. That team member, it ended up blowing up exceptionally spectacularly. But that team member, we had so many red flags for.
So many.
Now I look back on it and I'm like, oh my God, there were so many red flags.
And that was the beginning of the end for it, for sure. Like that's when it started. But we had ignored things previously. I remember her TAFE teacher called us and was like, she wasn't at school.
She wasn't at school.
And she was adamant that she was. And it was just like this whole thing of like, okay, well, I don't know. There were so many
wild red flags there.
But
it's so interesting though, isn't it? That hindsight and looking back and going, okay, there's a red flag that I ignored.
Yeah.
I've ignored so many big red flags in our business. I've ignored red flags in both businesses actually at different points. And one that really sticks out to me is I had this like gut intuition of putting a team member into a role in the salon. And you really wanted to do it. And I was like, I don't want to do this. It doesn't feel right. My gut was like, no, 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 no. And I just felt like I had to do it. And my gut was like screaming at me, this is not the right thing. This is not the right person. This person does not have the skill set to go into this role. And I ignored it. And it didn't end terribly. Like it didn't work out terribly. But just ignoring that, we lost so much time. And we lost other opportunities for other team members. And what we should have done was say, no, that's not the right thing to do, not the right move. And I was like, I felt like I just had to do it. I felt like I had to do it for that team member. I felt like I had to give the opportunity. And I look back now and I'm like, fuck, it was such poor leadership on my end just to actually say, stop, no, not happening. And that's one thing that I'm like, well, I totally ignored my gut. My gut was so right. It was right from day one. It was right like every step of the way.
Yeah, it really is, I think. And, you know, you guys will be going back in your own heads of working out where this has played out for you, where you can identify this, all of those things. As we said, though, it's not about now having it identified and acting on it because that's also, we don't want to be coming from reactivity. We just want to start clocking, noticing, getting curious, exploring when our gut is communicating or when your heart, when whatever it is that your body part that is letting you know, hey, listen to me. Let's start taking note. Let's start really getting curious about what's coming up, why this is feeling like that. Really start exploring it rather than just putting that blanket. It'll be right. No, it'll be right.
Absolutely.
It'll be okay.
That little voice. What's one thing that we would say to salon owners who are hearing that little voice and ignoring it?
I would think, so it's all well and good to be like, yep, start clocking it. I would truly start a spreadsheet of some sort, whether that is writing it out pen to paper. I swear.
That's so great. I've never heard you encourage people to do a spreadsheet. Love.
Well, I mean, I've got a piece of paper, but, you know, I'm doing it for the techie girls. Create something where you have just, we're going to call it like building evidence on this. So it's not about, you know, creating a case file and coming after them and going for them, blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's literally just, I'm just going to clock when.
I'm going to notice it. Yeah.
Date, time, what it is. It is a case file. And just once you have enough evidence for it.
It's mum. Insane.
Answer it.
No. I will actually.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Because she'll call me now. You know that.
Jesus, she's out of control. Truly.
Yep, here she is.
Mum.
Hi, Mum. I'm just recording the podcast, so you're going to be on it.
Pardon?
I'm just recording the podcast, so would you like to apologise to all the listeners?
Oh, and I'm being whistled at by Dad and not in a.
And there's the
Mum, we've gotta
conversation
go.
gone for
Bye.
me. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Love you.
God.
Call you later.
Bye-bye.
Wow, we're not going to unpack 3:20 on a Monday afternoon. Our parents are whistling at each other. Great. We're going to clock over. There'll be a new spreadsheet of me getting traumatized by my parents.
Insane.
But truly, with this spreadsheet or this, wherever it is that you're starting to create the evidence, just start marking out where it's when, where, what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to then start creating
Bringing that awareness.
evidence, awareness, and then you're going to start honouring it.
Mm.
What have you got for the people?
That.
It's a good one.
Literally that. Being aware of it. Also then having someone in your corner to help you to act on it, because it's hard when you're emotional and in the moment. You need to have a mentor, a friend, a therapist, whoever it is, to be able to help you to identify these gut instincts and actually act on them in an appropriate way, not from reactivity, not from avoidance, not from passivity. Is that even a word? Not from being passive. You need to be able to actually channel that in some way.
Yeah.
I think that's really helpful. I actually think so many salon owners are going to listen to this and feel so incredibly seen in this, because we all experience this. But our biggest thing that we want to encourage all of you is to listen to your intuition. You have this beautiful gut instinct that is in all of us, and we have to tune in and listen to it.
Amen.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon Potty.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.